It is Sunday night. Here we are in South Boston, Virginia, here for the Slingshot Racing League Street Stocks here on the OVERDRIVE Automotive Media YouTube channel. My name is Cam Gillens, and along for a ride like always, I got my good buddy Jacob Nickerson. How's it going, Jacob? Yeah, I'm excited for it. South Boston is probably one of my favorite short tracks here. Not only on the series, but pretty much in real life. It's like every time I've gotten on it, I just had a ball. Yes, sometimes it's ended up in frustrations, which I'm sure we'll possibly see some of that tonight as well. But before we get too far into that, we'll go in and start in the points going into tonight. Yeah, it looks like we're down to the last few events of the season. Every point's gonna matter. And before we start on a journey for tonight, we'll go ahead and go into tonight's stories.
Have yourself some good short track action, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's short track is always gonna be fun. So, before we get into tonight, looks like we're the last couple seconds there in qualifying. What do you expect to see on as we go on through the night tonight, Jacob?
Well, I expect to see a lot of bumping and banging, a lot of slipping and sliding. These cars we are running the normal 100% package for the power, not 110. Like, we're not being interested in tonight. We're just being, as I said, back to basics. So, but it will be a little bit of slipping and sliding with these tires. They're not the most grippiest things in the world, and with how tight this track is, you ain't got a lot of space to go 5 wide down here. So you're gonna have a lot of beating and banging out the side doors, and hopefully netcode doesn't come into effect. I know with this newest update there has been a few complaints with that online, but with that, if we can keep netcode in check and everything else, we're just going to keep her tight, keep her good to go. There's going to be some real good racing here, I'm going to say.
Alright, with that, looks like we're about ready to get into tonight's heat race. So we'll go ahead and take her down trackside, and we can get ready for that.
So here we go, the pace truck's ready to go, and everybody else is screaming behind them, waiting to get at this thing. We do have 7 cars on the field, so Nice little number for the good old short track afternoon, evening, night, whatever it is.
All right. We'll go ahead and check out on that starting grid for tonight's heat race.
South Boston has lights, right?
I believe so. I guess we'll figure
Only
that
let
out.
you race in the dark, boys. I'm looking around the track thinking, I don't see any light poles, but we'll see. Could throw a little extra wrench in there. For your starting grid after qualifying in the first heat, you're going to have James Danforth on the pole, Johnny Rapp right next to him, Nathan Gentry in third, Steve Vest right next to him on the outside in fourth, Patrick O'Toole making his return to some good old short track racing in fifth place. And right outside of him is going to be number 69, Larry Pulling, and in the rear is going to be the number 42 of Paul Thomas.
Yeah, it looks like we got our points leader starting up front, so they'll be very interested to see if he can get one of those final heat points as we're going into the championship week next week.
I swear I googled that South. I'm starting to get a bit nervous here.
Jacob doesn't know if he paid the light bill this week.
No, I may have shorted out the electrician. They came in the night before and just took out a light post away.
Nonetheless, we're about ready to drop the flag on this.
Green flag is out, we're on the way. A little bit of an even jump between first and second. Johnny Rapp and James Danforth are side by side. It looks like we're still pacing around the track as they're coming out of turn 2 into the backstretch.
It looks like Johnny Rapp gets the big jump on the field with James Danforth just kind of following second, with Nathan Gentry in third, and the battle between Steve Vest and Patrick O'Toole were coming down the stretch.
There you go, Patrick O'Toole making a charge on the inside around Steve Vest here. Steve Vest doesn't want to lose as many positions here. He is just outside the points, going to get a 1 extra point, but James Danforth's looking at getting 4 extra points, so being 20 points behind, that's not going to do you any good. Or more than 20 points behind, so he's going to have to really get around Patrick O'Toole here and start charging. Speaking of charging, Johnny Rapp has already taken a commanding lead, already 0.5 seconds ahead, as Larry Pauling does have some issues coming around the track. As we're coming around to the backstretch here with Johnny Rapp still in the lead.
He's still in the lead, followed by James Danforth. He's just starting to close in. Oh, looks like maybe Johnny had a little problem right there, and a little wide. It's going to open the door for Danforth as he gets to the line to see if he can get the drive off, because we're coming out of the corner. They're side by side as we're coming at the center of the corner and coming out.
There you go, James Danforth looking like he's going to make the move here cleanly, but he's not going to be able to get himself clear coming in turns 1 and 2. He is clear for a little bit as he move up ahead. Oh, he does a very extreme turn to the right to get it blocked off on Johnny Rapp here, as James Danforth does try to make a run away from it, get them 5 extra bonus points and pretty well locking up the championship coming in the next race. We do have a little bit of a separation here between the top 3 compared to the rest of the field. Your top 3 being James Danforth, Johnny Rapp, Nathan Gentry. Patrick O'Toole already about 2 seconds behind 3rd place, so a little bit of a separation going around as Johnny Rapp does make a peek down to the inside, come around the start-finish line.
As he does, he darts out there. It's like James is trying to get the drive off on the top line. It looks like he's got it for the mint. He's trying to pinch him down. Oh, it looks like Johnny gets ahead of him. We're going to see if James decides if he might try to do the crossover.
So coming down to 2 laps to go here, Johnny Rapp is going to try to run away as he successfully defends from James Danforth there. Meanwhile, Nathan Gentry just waiting in the weeds 1.5 seconds behind, waiting for these two to take each other out, really. For that last transfer spot, Steve Vest is out of the bonus point area. He's going to have to... Oh, Johnny Rapp has a problem. Johnny Rapp has a huge problem. He's out in the pits. Nathan Gentry may have just been delivered something here.
We're going to go back and take a gander to see what happened on that. Oh, it looks like he just gets loose.
And trying to go for an emergency pit stop.
Ooh, as he hits the pit road, and that's going to bring us to the end of tonight's heat race.
We have lights.
So... All right, we're gonna go ahead and go while we're having our warm up. Go through the finishing order of tonight's heat race.
There you go, finishing order for tonight's heat race. You have James Danforth coming in first, Nathan Gentry with the strategy of the century coming home in second place here. Patrick O'Toole coming home in third place. Paul Thomas in fourth, and Johnny Rapp's issue does give Steve Vess's one extra bonus point coming home in fifth position. Right behind him is going to be Johnny Rapp, who was leading the race for the majority of it until he had an issue down pit road. And then Larry Pauling, who decided that had a little bit too much damage from the wall grabbing him earlier and pulled into the pits and just had to cool down the motor a little bit. So he's going to be coming home in seventh place.
That little bit of a heat race that we had, it was pretty much a nail biter. I think it pretty much gave us a little opening to see what we're going to see tonight.
That's
tonight's feature.
So there's a lot of laps here, 75 laps around this place, but it doesn't take long to complete a lap, only about 16, 17 seconds once tires start going away. So you don't got a lot of time to make moves here, so it's going to be pretty well pedal to the metal the whole way around as these guys getting their last minute practice in with the lower temperatures. That being said, the track temperature is, drum roll please, 71 degrees Fahrenheit on track. Very cool temperatures, very cool track. Lots of grip in them tires, but these cars do like to go sideways on them, so... And as you see, you have a clear weather condition of a wind of 5.5567892133457 miles per hour westward. When we give you stats on the Overdrive Automotive Media channel, we make sure those stats are accurate, okay? We only have the best weathermen on board. As you see here, series returning back to Patrick O'Toole, making some extra practice laps as he came in late into the series session. He was coming in about halfway through qualifying, so you got a lot of laps on this. Probably got a lot of laps on this track, but not laps right now today. So,
because right now it looks like the 60 of Steve Est is leading our little warm up here with a 16.28.
See, this man's student of the game. Every time he has opportunities to practice, whether it be during qualifying after his one lap or a little bit of warm-up, he's always there to get around. So he's just trying to see what we can figure it, trying to see what we can learn for this feature race here.
So it looks like we got a couple minutes. It looks like the one of Nathan Gentry and the 88 of our points leader, James Danforth, has elected not to, at this juncture, do some last-minute warm-up. They looks like they think they're ready to go for tonight's feature.
Speaking of ready to go here, everybody else is parked up in the pits, so we are going to skip over to the feature race as he warm up. Everybody's cars are all warmed up, ready to go. As the pace truck gets ready to come on track now. It's a nice 10:30 at night. Hope you got your coffees. Hope you got your NOS energies, whatever you can get out there to get yourself awake here for this track in our race tonight.
All right, it looks like we're getting these drivers right up. Give them a second to get gridded up before we go through the starting order for tonight's feature.
Say one of my favorite times of the day.
So, since we're waiting a little bit, so what's the fuel and tire setup we got for tonight there, Jacob?
Tires, you do have a spare set of up the wall, but you're probably not going to want to use them. These tires will last you for the rest of the race, so you will have to keep care of them, though, because they will drop off to about 17.5 seconds, but you won't have to worry about them blowing out on you. This track is pretty banked, so... Mm-hmm. That being said, you will have to keep an eye on it. Fuel, you'll probably be able to run about 3 of these races before you start worrying about the fuel cost in your car. So it's going to be just a see you can conserve the most for the end and see you can give her the most at the end, if you know what I mean.
Yep. All right, we're getting these drivers right off. Let's hurry and go through tonight's grid for tonight's feature.
Starting in first place position, you have the number 88 of James James Danforth in second position. Right next to him is going to be the number 1 car, Mr. 100 millionaire himself, Nathan Gentry. And in third place is going to be number 44 of Patrick O'Toole. And in fourth place, right next to him, is the number 42 of Paul Thomas. And in fifth place, you have the number 6060 of Steve Vest. And in sixth place position, right next to him in the old Mission Barbecue black and green car, is number 52, I said that already, of Johnny Rapp. And right behind him, last but not least, he was just saving his car for the end, is the number 69 of Larry Poling. As we're getting geared up to go around this track and get her done. Green flag is out, we're on the way.
That the 88 of James Danforth gets the big jump on second place of Patrick O'Toole and gets up front in front of the one in Nathan Gentry.
Okay, Patrick O'Toole gonna see if he can defend this second place as he hunts down the number 88 of James Danforth. Gonna see if they only got about only 70 laps left, pretty well, or 73 laps left. That doesn't sound like a lot, but around this track you only got 15 seconds a lap, so you gotta make the most of what you got, and Patrick O'Toole's gonna try to make his defense as sturdy as it can be to make sure nobody gets around him, as Steve Vest is making a move on the number 42 there for, I believe that is 5th place position, coming around towards turn, I can't see, 3.
Yeah, it looks like Steve finally gets the position on that as Paul Thomas just kind of falls in. And it looks like so James Danforth is starting. Oh, it looks like Patrick O'Toole in second plate. It's like he just kind of lost it in the center of the corner there as we are under caution. We're going to go back and take a gander and see what happened with Patrick in second. So
Patrick just driving too hard off the corner and get himself spun around. He's going to be able to save up his car though and get her going again. No damage on that thing, just a little bit of tire wear.
It looks like he did kind of back it into the wall. It looks like the back of his trunk is a little bit V'd in. Kind of almost just like a tank slapper. Ain't nothing. It's a short track.
You don't need aero at a short track.
Following that, that's going to bring one of Nathan Gentry back up to second, followed by 60 of Steve Vest in third, Paul Thomas in fourth, Johnny Rapp in fifth, Patrick O'Toole is down in seventh, and then Larry Pauling in sixth. Took a second for the timing scoring update there. But we're on lap 7 here of 75 already. So once these drivers get this kind of a wrap of everything, we're going to see some good racing and probably start clicking these off pretty quickly.
Oh yeah. So I wasn't preaching, you got a lot of time here as Patrick O'Toole gets a fresh set of tires on her. It's going to give him a little bit of advantages in the long run, not necessarily now. Everybody's tires are about the same spot in the drop off, but the field's tires are going to drop off sooner than his will, so we might see a little bit of a mid-race charge from that 44 machine. So that is a little bit of the issue of not having as much practice time joining in the middle of qualifying. You don't necessarily know where the limits are, and you just have to kind of test out what the limits are during the race, which is something you really don't want to put yourself into. But if it's a situation you're in, it's a situation you're in. So green flag is out as we're going to start restarting the race here, as the top 3 stay relatively the same so far, as Nathan Gentry does get clear of Steve Vest here on the outside. See if he can hunt down number 88 of James Danforth, as Steve Vest trying to waste no time. He's already had a not the greatest heat race he wanted, only got 1 bonus point, so he's going to see if he can get a little bit of extra points on Danforth. But right now with Danforth leading, that's not going to be a lot of extra points there for Steve Vest in third position. But you have James Danforth putting on a clinic right now, leading this race, coming around to the front stretch.
As that looks like the one of Nathan Gentry is starting to inch his way back to the back bumper. They're saying that it looks like the 60 of Steve S is starting to peak on the inside with that yellow bumblebee as he's got there. As we're coming around the corner, and we're single file out through this pack.
So just nice little single file here. Looks like we're pacing with about 2 laps to go in the pacing, but right now we are racing right now. But everybody running in the 16.3s right now. No real noticeable lap changes right now. So a lot of things are happening right now. But you have Nathan Gentry going up the track as Steve Vest and the Rusty Banana tries to get around him. So he's going to make a dive to the inside to see if he can start hunting down Danforth for that lead. As Nathan Gentry is in a place he really does not want to be, which is the outside. That wall is going to grab you, and if you're on the outside, it's going to grab you even harder. So, speaking of which, with the new tires, Patrick O'Toole just put down the fastest lap of the race so far. So, he's going to be a nice little charger here coming in the midway of the race. As Nathan Gentry is just trying to find a place to slot into as he's stuck on the outside. He finds a slot just in front of Johnny Rapp, dropping from 2nd place down to 4th place. As James Danforth has already pulled out about, 0.9 second lead on Steve Vest here coming around towards turn 4.
Yeah, Steve Vest is in 2nd. It's like Paul Thomas is falling in. Oh, it looks like I say that Steve
sideways.
Did practically the same thing that Patrick did, but saves it. We're still in the green. We're gonna go take a gander back and see what just transpired.
He just sends it in a bit too hard, tries to paint the yellow, and just that rear end starts going faster than the front end, and nearly takes out Johnny Rapp on the rejoin there, but he's able to keep her straight and keep her going. So not going to be the best on the old tire wear situation, but
so with that slide there, you've got Paul Thomas in 2nd, followed by Nathan Gentry in 3rd, coming back to 3rd, and then Johnny Rapp from the back. He's looking all he can do to get back to the back of the 1. And then, like you said, right behind him is that 44, Patrick O'Toole. He might be just saving those new tires, but he came in after his spin. So like I said, we're already about lap 20 into the 75 lapper.
I know. See, this 2nd place position has been just a revolving door of drivers so far. We're only 20 laps in, like Cam said. So, I mean, if you're in like 4th, 6th place, 7th place, you might get rotated around to 2nd place and get a good finish out of the day, because that 2nd place, man, it has been pretty nice with every driver in the field so far. So maybe 2nd place is not where you want to be, because unless you're at the very end of it, because you know, it has a tendency of chaining drivers very quickly. But Paul Thomas is trying to run away from Nathan Gentry here as Gentry stays around in 3rd place after his little incident on the outside, getting stuck out there. Meanwhile, you're on board here with Johnny Rapp as he tries to find a way around the number 1 of Nathan Gentry. So he's reading that rear spoiler there saying slingshot. He's thinking, well, how do I slingshot around this car? As Johnny Rapp does get a bit sideways there, but he's able to save it. Not much drama there, just a little bit. The car stepping out, but these things, they're basically boats. As long as you catch a good wave, you're good to go. I don't know what that means, don't ask me about it. Either way, Nathan Gentry is still trying to run around the inside of Paul Thomas here. Paul Thomas hanging around the outside, not where we want to be. Nathan Gentry can tell you that much right now. Let's see if Nathan Gentry can put a advantage on this, as Paul Thomas is running that outside pretty well, coming around the front stretch across the start finish line, going to turn 1 now too.
Well, looks like Nathan finally gets enough momentum to go on the inside of him. That's going to open a door for Johnny Rapp on the inside of Paul Thomas, as well as that little gaggle between Paul and Nathan has just brought the rest of this field back in together. And as to say that, oh, Johnny gets up right to the left quarter panel, but it looks like everything stays straight, and we're gonna keep going. And that's good as Paul gets into the wall, and Patrick Toole's looking to go through that same door that Nathan and Johnny just went through, as we're coming to lap 28.
Now, you said this thing's gonna be like classic short track racing. Right now, I'm seeing super speedway of how side by side these cars are, and how tight they are. I'm seeing side drafting going on. I don't think these cars really have much of a side draft on this track, but either way, I see a lot of people packing air on the spoilers, trying to get around them. Maybe the car having a bit loose. Speaking of loose, Paul Thomas very sideways going into the pit, almost going to the pit lane. You know, see if he needs black clear there. No, he doesn't. He actually stays clear of the pit road. I don't know how he managed that one, but say he was pretty well almost hitting the cones with the commitment cone there. So So you see the 42 just getting a bit sideways, trying to save it.
Same thing we've seen all night. Exact same thing we've seen all night with everyone else. Just trying to get that little extra out of the car.
I'm really impressed that the admins didn't say that was a unsafe join with pits as he immediately dived out of it, but he got himself saved there. That's what I'm saying. The guy in second place keeps getting cycled back down to 6th.
Well, I think what's happening is we're seeing James get out so far. I mean, he's about a 9/10 of a second over Nathan Gentry, but all these people in second are trying to push, and as soon as they push, they just get right over that line, which you've seen all night is gotten these cars sideways in the corner. Luckily, everyone's kind of got away with it, pretty much scratch free.
The only one that's gotten a scratch from is the 44 Patrick O'Toole, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him that much as he'd already used his fast repair to get the car back together. I did forget to mention these cars do have one fast repair in the pit area as well as one set of tires, so he's got a pretty well brand new car right there. Not as much nail, mind you, but see, I'm looking. Oh, speaking of which, commentator cursed Patrick O'Toole's round again. Just try to push her a little bit too much. Same thing we saw just a few laps ago. This time he doesn't hit anything, just gets a bit sideways.
Yep, exact same thing. Just getting too hot on corner entry and just spins her around.
I'm half wondering if that's just people thinking that South Boston's a flatter track than it actually is.
Ooh, so we got some interesting developments with our leader coming down pit road.
James Danforth getting a fresh set of tires alongside Nathan Gentry and the 42 of Paul Thomas. Interesting, they seem to be splitting the race in half pretty well.
That's gonna relegate our lead to Mr. 52 Johnny Rapp, coming from the back to the front.
See Patrick O'Toole also coming in for a quick little pit stop as well. We overshoot his pit box a little bit, caught that one on camera.
Poor Patrick. Every time we talk to him, something happens.
Oh, yeah. See, I am curious of this because I was going to point out the tire wear after this. I was saying I wasn't seeing much drop off here 30 laps into the race, but say this could, you could have the front three here of Johnny Rapp, Steve Vest, and Larry Poling, the only ones on old tires. See if they end up spinning the tires on this restart here, and that could just create a big old calamity if they're not expecting it. But yeah, I didn't see much tire fall off. Everybody was still running in the mid-15s, mid-16s, sorry. So it's going to be very interesting to see how much these tires are really going to matter for them.
Well, obviously, they all thought at least something because they all, it's like those front three came down and got him as we're away again. Johnny Rapp gets the jump. Right behind him is the 60 of Steve Vest. And it looks like our points leader is already going from the back to third and is looking for more coming in second. And it looks like he's going to get it. So those tires might actually mean something there tonight. There, Jacob.
It definitely got him a good jump on the field. See, I think he was able to grip up and go like it was shot out of a cannon. I'm going to keep an eye on the old timing and scoring here to see if there's much of a difference. See, right now on that lap around, you had Johnny Rapp with a 16.5, James Danforth with a 16.4, and then Steve Vest with a 16.7. So Steve Vest's tires starting to drop off, but Johnny Rapp's able to keep him under wraps for now. Get it? Johnny Rapp kept him under wraps. Oh, I'm here all day, but ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not. As top three, we're looking very similar to the heats here. The top three are starting to pull away from the rest of the field here. Say 0.5 seconds separates the top three as Patrick O'Toole in fourth place position is only about 1.4 seconds behind. So a little bit of separation going on as Paul Thomas tries to get around Larry Poling here. As Johnny Rapp is still your leader coming down the backstretch.
So the 88 of James Danforth is starting to inch away at that lead of 52 of Johnny Rapp, trying to see what get some clean air out the nose get at the turn. as he's trying to any lane that he can get to, just to get to that rear quarter panel of Johnny.
They don't speak now, but I think I'm not going to try to curse him. I think if I reference the curse, I didn't curse him that much. But I did say about a mid-race charge, and Patrick O'Toole put down another fastest lap of the race here. So this kid, man, he's got some power under those wheels. He just needs to get around the track here to get up to the front and take it. As he tries to make his way around the number 60 of Steve Vest, as James Danforth, sorry, tries to still find a way around the 52 of Johnny Rapp. See, we might have to get some side-by-side action as Patrick O'Toole makes himself around the 60 of Steve Vest. I'm going to see if the 60 of Steve Vest is anything for him. There we go. On the bottom right, you have the battle between Patrick O'Toole and Steve Vest, and then on the top left, you have the battle between Johnny Rapp and James Danforth for the lead. Say the battle between Patrick O'Toole and Steve Vest has cooled down a little bit, but still could have something happen here with Steve Vest making a move on him. That being said, Johnny Rapp is getting pressure from James Danforth with the 88 machine going around on the inside. As we've seen before, the outside is not where you want to be. Johnny's not going to let him get it freely. He's going to go high side and handsome around this place. See, James Danforth makes one last dive in turn 3.
The momentum that Johnny's getting up on the high side just making it very, very difficult for James on the low side to get in front of him. It looks like Johnny still is getting that drive off, just inching, keeping it at the center of the door-wise, as it looks like finally James clears him coming into the corner of lap 50.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Johnny Rapp did slap the wall a little bit there on both ends of the track here for that last lap, so that may have caused the momentum to kill away from his car. Sadly for the rest of the field, they were hoping that battle would be going on for a few more laps as they can catch up to him, but right now the tires are starting to drop severely for one Johnny Rapp in the 52 machine, and he's ran a 16.7. He was running around the outside of the track, but that's still quite a drop right there.
Mm-hmm. So he did just drop it back down.
As soon as I said that, they ran out into a lap time.
Yeah. So I bet you're right. I figured that drop in lap time was just because he was tapped the wall.
That just showed how much it killed his momentum as he tries to gain it back again.
Mm-hmm. Looks like the 60 FC Vest. Oh, go ahead.
So it is looking like lap traffic's not going to be an issue here till probably about the very end, as Larry Pulling is 8 seconds ahead of James Danforth here leading this playing. So just gotta keep holding your marks and keep her going. So
it looks like Danforth is pulled away for about 7/10 of a second there on Johnny Rapp in second. Then another second back to Patrick O'Toole. And Steve, with the closest race on track, is the 60 of Steve Vest coming up trying to catch the 44 of Patrick O'Toole. It looks like he's trying to take any line that he can, going in and out of the corner and dropping low coming out of the corner.
As soon as it says number, I saw him slap the outside wall. So once again, those walls will grab you out of thin air.
Mm-hmm.
That thing will kill your car's momentum in a heartbeat. See right now, you do see Nathan Gentry a bit sideways there. He's able to keep her under control.
Ooh, he's still a little sliding. As I said, I'm pretty sure there's a little bit more tire wear than we were anticipating there.
Yeah. Problem is, they've played their hand early. If there's another late race caution here with these guys on old tires, those old tire guys take some tires, the next thing you know, they're in the advantage. As Larry Pulling's up against the wall. Larry Pulling, oh, a hard hit from Larry Pulling, come down to Steve Vest.
Oh, and there's that caution.
Say Larry Pulling has come to a complete halt.
Oops, Steve still has that freshie, because that right front on his car is pretty much toast.
Let's just say that front right tire is getting a bit cooled down right now.
Just a little bit. Right, we're going to go back a little bit further, see what happened with Larry. All right. Oh.
Saying he just came
We'll
too
even
low
go
and
to
hit that.
So I'm gonna say probably what happened is he went low, got some marbles on those tires, and it just shot him straight up. Oh, tapped the inside wall. Oh, completely locked his left front up. Look at that.
Yeah, as soon as he taps those barrels, it just locks that front left tire up, and he just riding that outside wall. And that jut out there comes and dams the field and takes out Steve Vest in the process. But Steve Vest is going to have a fast repair ready to go.
What?
If I am correct, all the guys that didn't take tires last time took tires this time. So
Sure looks like that. Yep.
as I said before, late race caution. The tires are now flipped around. As you're coming around, only 10 laps to go for this restart.
Mm-hmm. I think the only one that had maybe tires left was Johnny, and he's sitting in third. So we're gonna see if he can rally back from third and come up and battle for that lead once again with James Danforth.
See, Steve Vest does have freshes on him, but the problem is with him getting that wreck, he's going to be a lap down. I don't think you can pass the leader twice in 10 laps, I'll be honest with you. I'd love to see it happen.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he didn't. Looks like he didn't even take his freshie.
Interesting, he just put fresh tires on and go. As the green flag is out, and James Danforth is going to try his hardest to keep the beast of a car that's 52 right behind him as Nathan Gentry gets stuck on the outside, some familiar territory for him. As Johnny Rapp makes quick work of the number 1 car as he starts hunting down to number 8, 88. I'm just paying attention to the old lap times here, seeing how much that fresh is going to do him. As you do see James Danforth getting a bit loose out of the corners here, coming down to turn 4.
Oh, yeah, look at that time. But Nathan also popped it down into 16.4s.
16.53 to 16.484. Not much of an advantage, but it's going to get even better as the laps tick down. So not many laps get ticked down, but either way, as I said, this 75 laps is absolutely flying away as Johnny Rapp does take a gander on the outside as they tap a little bit. There's a little bit of short track bump and bang in action right here.
He's going to try to do the crossover. I thought he's not close enough. I thought he was going to turn down on corner exit, but he wasn't close enough. He's going to stay at the outside. He's not getting that drive off. But I thought he would on the outside to see if he could do the crossover coming back into the other side of the track as we're coming about 5 laps to go.
5 laps to go. You got to start figuring in a new strategy right now because running the outside and get momentum not necessarily working right now. Not to mention the old wall here, as you have the old ultimate trump card that is just banging the guy out of the way, but I don't think these two really want to do that right now. As they are very, very close together. Johnny Rapp can pretty well smell what James Danforth had for breakfast. That's impressive, it being 10:54 p.m. in sim time. Oh, Paul Thomas around and Steve Vest at the same time. That was some...
Ooh.
That was some coordinated spinning right there.
We'll go back and take a gander at both of that. We'll go with Paul Thomas first.
I had the best view of that, I tell you. They parked staring at the camera in the exact same
Oh wow, the exact same. This is not a drifting competition, fellas. You gotta keep those straight. But I was pretty
more impressed than anything, man.
Same. That was pretty awesome. Well, that's gonna just turn us into a green-white checker there, Jacob.
I do believe so. It's going to be the last try for a green-white checker. We have 1 try to go, and Steve Vest might give himself the lucky dog. So we only got 5 cars left on track as O'Toole and Larry Poling has not been able to deem themselves able to compete anymore with them damaged cars. Everybody here seeing what they can do. Everybody's used up their tires. It's going to be a pretty nice, clean slate here coming to 3 laps. This green-white checkered here.
You're probably going to be sending Steve pretty close this time, or on the outside.
I can only hope. Steve can only hope. Steve, he wants to get on that lead lap and get some more positions out of him.
No, or not. Because lights are out. Maybe not. All right.
Guess not. Maybe because it deemed him part of the caution. I don't know.
That's
Some interesting thing from the stewards there.
Yeah.
That being said, if they all take each other out and Steve Vest can make 2 laps around this place, he's got this. He's got the win. If they all just take each other out on the green flag drop.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. I have a feeling.
Green flag is out. James Danforth has hammered it down. Trying to row through the gears. Hopefully no one misses a gear or nothing. Everybody seems gone back up the 4th gear quite simply. As James Danforth is running away from Johnny Rapp here, as they are quite not side by side, but like rear end to rear end.
Is there coming a white
They
flag
were
here?
coming down to the white flag. Next flag will end it as Johnny Rapp tries to take a peek up the outside. He's not going to necessarily work. Is he going to make a send on the inside? Not quite. He's going to try to see if the outside will work. He might end up slamming the wall and just riding it there a little bit. He's avoids the wall for now as James Danforth takes the win.
That was a well of a race between Johnny and James right there toward the end. Looked like Johnny couldn't enough get the momentum to get on side by side with James, and James went ahead and led the majority of the race and took home the win.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. I mean, and he was the first set of cars that took tires compared to the second set of cars that took tires, so very interesting to see how that worked out. And we found out that South Boston does indeed have lights.
I thought it did.
What was I doing? I didn't see any light poles around.
I knew it did in real life. I just didn't know if it did on the surface, because I know Cars Tour and all that seems to come here and do night shows and everything. So I knew it did. I just didn't know if it was actually in service or not. But if that's, we're going to go ahead and go through the results for tonight's race. So the 88 James Danforth takes home the win, followed by the... Wait, hold on. I don't know if that's right. Hold on. Let me check.
Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. This is the technical difficulty song. There we go.
That's better. That's better.
I was running out of lyrics.
There you go. So James Danforth takes the win, followed by the 52 of Johnny Rapp in second, the 1 of Nathan Gentry in third, 42 of Paul Thomas in fourth, in fifth the 60 of Steve Vest, in sixth the 44 of Patrick O'Toole, and right out of our field is the seventh is the 69 of Larry Pauling.
See, right now we're waiting for the top 3 getting the broadcast booth. They're not necessarily there yet. There could be some declining some interviews here. So, say the only person that seems to be ready right now is their race winner. So, say if nobody else pops in the count of 10, I'm gonna say a count of 5. I'm gonna say we're gonna jump straight to our race winner here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, third and second place have declining interview for the day. They just want to get straight to bed and get on with the old Mondays here. So we're going to be able to talk to our race winner, the number 88 of James Danforth. Everybody put your hands together. Here he comes. There he is. James Danforth, it's Jacob in the booth. You got me?
I sure do.
There you go. And say I may have jumped the gun a little bit. It was looking like the top 3 were declining some interviews. So we're going to do a little bit of a jumbled action here, because as soon as I pulled you and I saw Johnny was ready. So either way, congratulations on the race win there. I know it was a tough full battle to get to it, a little bit stressful at times. So
yes, sir.
Say, did you have tire strategy in mind, or are you just trying to go off the first caution there?
I was kind of just going off the first caution there. As soon as it came out and I saw that we were going to be going green at right about halfway, I was just said, screw it, and just took right sides.
There you go. I mean, just did the right sides change the handling of the car anymore, or?
It helped it rotate a little bit better in the corner. I was more worried about waiting and just burning off the right rear and looping it at some point off either 2 or 4.
Say a lot of people ended up doing that today, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do believe since your points competitor Paul Hahn didn't make it today, I think that has given you the I'm pretty confident in saying you are mathematically the champion for the Sunday series.
Well, that's cool.
So next race will just be a for fun race to get the other positions figured out, but I do believe you have it.
That is awesome.
We designed this point standings to be tight and last the whole season. You come out here, dominate the areas, and get a championship win. So, I mean, this is your second win in Slingshot history as yeah, pretty sure second win, right?
Yep.
Yeah, second win in Slingshot history and your first championship Slingshot history. So you're gonna have plenty to celebrate here tonight. So
Definitely.
So did you have any idea what was gonna happen this race when you came into the old practice, or were you just kind of winging it by the green flag runs?
Kind of winging it. It's been a long day. I've had to travel quite a bit today, so I didn't really get much time to do any practice tonight. So I mean, I couldn't be more pleased with how it ended up. But yeah, that was a fun battle with Johnny there.
There you go. I mean, like, say, performance of a lifetime right there. Got yourself a championship, a race early. Got yourself second win. I mean, this day on the schedule should be circled in red ink as in like the best day you could have had today. So, also you won the heat race, so you guys the maximum amount of points as possible, exactly when you needed to. So.
Yep.
Yeah, again, congratulations on both the race win and the championship. As long as you make a start in the next week. Before we let you go here, do you have anybody you want to shout out? Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah. I just want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to my dad specifically. Also shout out to my grandfather. He is currently in the hospital right now, dealing with some health issues. So, just want him to know that I'm thinking about him and praying that he gets better quick or sooner rather than later. And then of course I just want to thank you guys for doing this every week for us and making the broadcast much more entertaining.
Say at one point of this time, y'all should have my starting grid shouts as ringtones at this point.
Yep.
Well, either way, again, congratulations on your both championship and race win here, and hopefully you have yourself a good Sunday night going into Monday morning.
I appreciate it, guys.
Have yourself a good one, man.
Thank you too.
And that is your race winner, number 88 of James Danforth here, and someone is ready to talk to us here. It's going to be the second place finisher of the Johnny Rapper. Going up a little bit in reverse order here, but it's going to be interesting to hear from him because he had an alternative tire strategy. Here he comes. There he is. Johnny S. Jickle in the booth. You got me?
Absolutely.
There you go. We're doing this in a bit of reverse order, talking to James first, and then the second place finisher here, Johnny Rapp. But either way, did you have, I know you had a little bit of an alternative tire strategy. Was that something you had planned beforehand, or was it just something you made up on the fly?
Yeah, definitely on the fly. I thought, that first run, that long green run we had, I kind of was just saving my tires, at least I thought I was. Want to see how it stacked up when those guys came in and took tires, and I could kind of fight a little bit, but I wasn't going to be able to win the thing. So, yeah, I mean, definitely maybe the wrong call, but either way, it was had to try something out. I thought maybe I saved enough, but I didn't. Then that caution at the end, we got some right sides on her, got out there. We had a little bit more speed there with the fresh tires, but man, I wanted to make that pass on the outside because I knew if I went to the bottom, I was probably going to hit apron and take both of us out. I didn't want to do that. And just the green white checker wasn't enough time to really build that run to be able to get it to work. Right when the caution was came out, I was like just drawing a bead on him. I got to his outside and was going to see how it went. But yeah, green white checker. Hey, it is what it is, and regardless, I'll take a second place finish.
Oh, and I mean, say you had a trip up the track, down the track in the position ways, and ended up here in second place. So I'd say it's a pretty good drive to end off the day and second to last race of the whole season here. And so I do believe, if my math is correct, number 88 has gotten himself the championship a race early, even though we designed the points to have that not happen. He came in and just dominated the field here for the last few weeks. But either way, next race is going to be some fun at Langley. So do you have any expectations or anticipations about next week here at Langley, the good old circle?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of turning. I know that, but yeah, hey, I mean, hey, this season's been going on a long ways, and I know I haven't been here for all of it, but Shane's been out here kind of knocking it out. He's got himself a couple wins now. He's been a strong performer. Raced great tonight. He absolutely earned that win, and yeah, congratulations to him on the early championship. We'll have to see exactly how it pans out, but I'm sure he's at least in very good shape. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Next week, that's a very unique track and kind of the one everybody cuts their teeth at here on iRacing. So it's gonna be fun to see what everybody does.
We might just add some power and take away some weight and see what happens.
Hey, I'm all for it,
We're throwing everything out the window next week here as the last race of the season. So either way, that's talking in the future, talking about what is right now. I mean, you got yourself a second place finish, and say you got anybody you want to share there, anybody you want to thank today, or?
Yeah, first and foremost, you, Jacob, and Cam here in the OVERDRIVE Automotive Media booth, bringing the show to us each and every week. We certainly appreciate that. And man, these street stocks are a lot of fun. You can really race each other. These things get a little sideways. You can ride the heck out of them. So we appreciate you guys bringing the show. Everybody that shows up here. I mean, we had a great run from James, Nathan, Paul. Everybody was racing really good. O'Toole was up there for a little while. I think he fell off, and we see Larry. It looks like he left early too. Might have had some issues, but yeah, still we appreciate all the support here in the Slingshot Racing League. Everybody that helps put the thing on, and everybody at home watching too. And I don't know. I don't think my dad's watching. I think he's watching something else right now. But if he is, shout out Dad. And yeah, I think that'd be about it.
There you go. I mean, speaking of fathers, happy Father's Day to everybody else watching here. So, sorry, I had a little bit of something in my throat here, but it's always great hearing from the old 52 machine and Johnny Rapp, and hopefully we get to see you next week tearing it up. And yeah, you have yourself a good Sunday night into a Monday morning.
Absolutely, you too.
Talk to you in a bit. And that's number 52 of Johnny Rapp as we're getting ready to end the old broadcast here for the second to last race of the season. And if my math is correct, the gap between first and second, James Danforth and Paul Hahn, is 36 points, and the maximum amount of points you can get is 35. So he just barely has clinched the title, I do believe.
That's pretty awesome. So that's really cool.
Hey, Cam, do you have any closing thoughts for us coming out tonight, or what?
I mean, it's classic South Boston. Again, like we said, it pretty much showed why it's like my favorite short track on the service, just watching it. 'Cause, I mean, the whole half of that, pretty much the whole field at some point there had a good chance of taking home a top 3 in position. So it was just pretty much rubber banding, like you were saying, through that whole thing. Seemed like the second place was pretty much no man's land for all of them.
Oh yeah.
Once they got there, it looked like that's um, if they didn't play it cool with their tires or everything, they was gonna slide. And like Johnny even said, he didn't want to get into that inside because there was a good shot that he was gonna hit the apron and get some those marbles and shoot them up straight into James. Is why he tried to take it home all in the top. So, like I said, just classic short track racing. It's like, I mean, you can see right now on the slow replay how much marbles is around this track. So with those hot tires already, some of the tire wear that we've seen tonight, I mean, yeah, it was good fun.
There you go. And I mean, say everybody out there, happy Father's Day again, and make sure you comment what you like about the race, share the broadcast around to your friends, show how awesome this league is, and throw a like on it if you liked watching it, and make sure you subscribe to the Overdrive Automotive Media YouTube channel. We'll be here next week at the exact same time.
Yep. Then before we go, I once again just wanted to kind of shout out to we're putting together that Overdrive Classic in a few weeks. We're still taking spots and everything, all nights, all classes. So I'm pretty stoked on it. It's gonna be a long few days, but I can't wait to do it. Like I said, the Discord's on there. If you feel like doing it, Discord, you can even reach out to us. We can get you set up and everything. But yeah, everything else is pretty much, that's about it for me tonight.
Yeah, that's all I got, surprisingly.
All right, this has been Cam and Jacob for Overdrive Automotive Media YouTube channel, and we will talk to you next week for our season finale.